We're recording.
Welcome to the State of Podcast. This week, it's the MCU.
A bold claim.
I'm Adam, and
This is Alex.
we do not have David this week.
We don't
I know he
know.
was a fan favorite,
Yeah.
but he stole all the limelight off of me, the real star, and we just couldn't have him back. He was great for what we needed.
There was a
but
power struggle.
There was definitely a power
Not
struggle.
between me. I'm always sound power-wise.
Well, Alex sets up this recording. I merely just show up.
I literally do
on
everything.
the day. So I mean, we can we can only have one prized pick for the show.
Although he will be on next week to talk about the Godfather trilogy.
I might not be here if I don't get them watched in time. I could be fired. Oh shit! My pop filter fell.
For fuck's sake. That's gonna... No, don't scream because it sounds terrible. I don't want to edit too much.
My pop filter is falling off. Might have to go without a pop filter.
You couldn't mute your mic.
No.
You could hold it the whole time.
I'm not. I don't do that.
Just get a fluffy sock, and put it over the mic.
I don't have a fluffy sock. I don't steal socks from you, fucking man, like you do.
Anyways, moving on. MCU. This is a big divergence in topics.
MCU. I was a big fan. 2008 to 2019.
Well, no, this is the thing. What I wanted to talk about was, this was originally meant to be a Christmas podcast, but I was binging The Boys. Season 2, still haven't finished it yet, but still was binging it. And with that, mixed with our most recent, or the first podcast we did, the DCEU. But with a mixture of DCEU, was a big issue in terms of... Great, now I lost my point. Did you have to do the tangent about the fucking pop filter? I fucking lost my point now. Great. I don't know what I was on about. Fuck's sake. Right, now The Boys. When I was watching The Boys, and I sort of realised that the MCU has really fucked up recently. And what I mean by that is, they've not only allowed, by having nothing come out for the past over a year basically, they've not only allowed that to happen, that in turn allowed DC to come back, but also allowed shows like The Boys to gain a lot of traction. Umbrella Academy. These basically unknown, very unknown, comic books get, a new life in a way. But in the same time, with The Boys, also parody the MCU, as in a way.
Even DC shows do that. I mean, like Doom Patrol.
Yeah, Doom Patrol. But the funny thing about, because I was watching an episode there, and they were filming a scene, and Homelander was just like, "Oh, did you get the new? Did you? This is looking a lot better, especially with the new Joss rewrites." Obviously poking fun at Joss Whedon there. But like there's stuff like the VCU, the Voight Cinematic Universe and stuff like, and it's just they allowed their competitors to gain a lot of traction.
The main issue, because that was this year we were supposed to be getting Black Widow. And what else were we supposed to get?
Eternals. Eternals was meant to come out in November. And
Black Widow's was come back in March, was it?
But not only that, this was meant to be a big year for them, because they were also going to have Falcon and the Winter Soldier coming out in August, September time, and then October-ish time they were meant to release WandaVision. So it's very weird how it's all kind of come about in a way. Because
technically the only MCU releases we've had this year has been Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which has wrapped up its final season this year. I don't know what happened. I haven't looked into it. Who watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. past episode 3?
I didn't even watch it at all, but my main problem with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was it wasn't really considered a part of the universe, because it wasn't really mentioned. And there's also, it was sort of like that Daredevil situation where you'd hear references about the films, but these shows would never be referenced in the films themselves.
Which we were kind of lied to. Those shows were entirely pitched on the
Oh,
fact that this
100%.
it was
It was meant to be a shared universe. I think
the Netflix ones at least benefited from being good.
Well, I think that's going to be a good thing in terms of like HBO Max, for example. They're really pushing this now. Like for example, Titans and Doom Patrol, same universe. Swamp Thing's meant to be in the same universe, and they're really gonna eventually. I imagine they're eventually gonna tie it all into the CW, especially.
It already kind of is because it had crossover.
Yeah, with Crisis.
That's debatable if they crossed
That is
over.
debatable, yeah, but you're gonna see a lot of things with like DC in the future, with things like again the Batflick, Ben Affleck Batman TV shows rumored to be happening, but a lot of other projects in a way, and they're really going to cross over into the films. Now that being said, whether that means the films that are going to be on HBO Max only or films that actually have a theatrical release, that is to be determined, but still all rumors in the air at the minute, but it's a very interesting idea, and I think the MCU have really piggybacked that idea recently with the inclusion of these shows such as WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Loki, for example, with stuff like Moon Knight and She-Hulk, Miss Marvel to release later. Miss Marvel's actually currently filming in I can't remember where exactly, but Moon Knight and She-Hulk are meant to be filming next year. Around May-ish time.
Speaking of Miss Marvel, I think that show is going to give off serious sort of Shazam vibes.
But I'm going to like it in that kind of a way.
I think it's going to be different enough where it's just going to be a much calmer show because we're going to be facing in the MCU, and a post-Endgame MCU is, to speak of the meme, it's like it has to be an Avengers level threat in every film.
Yeah,
that's what we've heard. That's all we've been hearing about. Like Spider-Man 3, it's going to be an Avengers scale film.
Yeah.
Thor 4,
right.
It's going to be an Avengers scale film. Even the shows.
No, not even that. Doctor Strange. The thing I can really understand is, right, Spider-Man 3 makes sense. Third film in a trilogy. Those films usually are massive in terms of, like, you had Captain America Civil War, you had, which is arguably a third film in the trilogy.
Thor
3, Iron Man 3, for example, like that was a big one because that was literally a year after the Avengers, like, so people were expecting a film like that. But like, I'm okay with that. Stuff with Doctor Strange, it's like by the time this film comes out in 2022, it will be the longest time between a sequel in the MCU as a whole, basically.
Yeah, but it's not like he hasn't appeared. He's been in a film like every year.
Yeah, but he hasn't had a solo film, which is problematic in a sense.
I think it'll be fine. I honestly think.
Well, my whole thing is, I don't think it's going to feel like a
Spider-Man
sequel.
3. No, it won't. It's going to be a bridging film.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be a problem because what I like about the MCU is this is why I love Captain America. It does feel like a trilogy.
Captain America's the only one that kind of does. Thor doesn't.
No.
Thor has some elements that kind of does.
Mm-hmm.
I have a big issue. We have a big issue with the MCU and the fact that they don't really allow the films to feel like a trilogy. I'm a big fan cinematically and like thematic of trilogies. Like I love the Dark Knight trilogy because kind of like
Iron Man.
It goes from one to the other to the other. The Sam Raimi trilogy, I think it works. The other MCU films haven't really had it.
No. I think that's gonna be a big problem
because they chop and change directors. Everything's getting moved around. So far, Spider-Man kind of works.
I'm just worried about this third one. That's why I'm thinking, right, 1 and 2 fair, work exactly as 1 in a sequel, right? This third one's worrying me. What the stuff I've been hearing.
I hope none of it's true.
Well, this is a problem. This is what we thought when Mando season 2, for example, was coming out. We were like, there's too many rumors, they're not true, and then there's going to be a ton of rumors.
Pretty funny about the Spider-Man 3 is the fact that everyone's saying like, they're planned to appear in it, and like apparently Andrew Garfield hasn't signed his contract yet. It's like, well, he's not going to be in it if he hasn't signed his contract because it's filming.
It is filming as we speak.
Like, it's not going to change that now.
No.
It's filming. It's filming in
Unless
Atlanta.
it's meant to be like a cameo at the very end of the film or something like.
Maybe to set up something in the future.
Yeah.
But like, who's Jamie Foxx semi-confirmed. Fox confirmed it, but I don't think Marvel ever confirmed
No,
it.
I think that is confirmed 100%. Because even Fox
Like,
put
that's a
up
safe
a
enough
post
bet.
and stuff.
That's
about
fine.
it.
Honestly, that's fine.
You know,
That was just I saw that
We
less
don't
of a
know-
Spider-Verse scenario,
Yeah,
and more of let's give him a chance to actually play the role.
like J. Jonah Jameson though. And like
Well,
I'm
he was
happy
just
for
too
it,
iconic.
you know, because in terms of like, you know, you got Jamie Foxx, great actor. I can see him being Electro. I think they,
But Alfred Molina rumored to return.
yeah, because stuff like that is it makes you think, right, this is gonna be literally the same character, but it wouldn't make sense in any way if it was. Unless the fusion reactor sucked them into another universe
At the bottom of the ocean.
at the bottom of the ocean, and then that sets up Pacific Rim. You know, so you know,
Nah,
this is
that
the
sets up
problem you
Namor.
have. Oh, Namor, yeah, the submariner.
Like,
Who's meant to
just-
be in Black Panther 2, but hasn't been confirmed yet.
Venom also can rumored to be appearing.
See, that I'm okay with, because when you watch Venom, it doesn't feel like it couldn't be in it.
But the issue isn't more so that Venom's going to be in it. It's if Venom's in it and all this other stuff is in it.
There's too much going on. You got a Spider-Man
much.
3 problem, where there's too many villains, and an Amazing Spider-Man 2 problem, where, again, there was too many villains.
And probably what happened in Amazing Spider-Man 3.
Well, this is the thing. Superhero films work really well with two villains. If you do more, it gets a bit too worrying. If you do too little, it, and, people say Infinity War and stuff, and it's like, well, there wasn't really. You can kind of view the whole group.
Had one villain with henchmen.
Yeah, it's sort of like Shazam in a way. But, yeah, just stick to two villains. This is a problem. I know people want Sinister Six. Sinister Six would only work if
Once they're all established.
literally, if all of them were established, bar one. I think that's the only way it could work. Exactly.
Well, that's probably what we're getting. Because the thing is, I'd be happy enough because Adrian Toomes, very well developed.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be continue further
Scorpion.
developed in Morbius.
Scorpion would work in terms of...
He could be the one that isn't developed, but we know he's there.
Yeah.
Mysterio, very well developed.
Mm-hmm.
We could be, if we're getting Electro, I assume because John Watts, fantastic director. I love the two Spider-Man films.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. They feel like 80s, teenage comedies to me, and I kind of like that kind of vibe, like Breakfast Club and stuff.
even though apparently they're not good Peter Parker films
Oh, don't
for
talk.
whatever reason.
Yeah.
Love the Raimi trilogy, but we need to let it go.
Obviously, I like the Raimi trilogy in the aspects I like the prequels.
Well, in the aspect of like episode 3,
They're fun.
they're very
They're just
entertaining.
fun. They're funny. They make me laugh. I don't take much from them.
They're not good.
People
who hold Spider-Man 2 up to the same caliber as
As
the Dark
Dark
Knight
Knight.
is just
It's a
absurd.
joke as a whole. But like
Crazy.
it's popcorn food in a way. Popcorn.
Yeah.
Popcorn film. It's not like when I go sit down and watch like a Nolan film or something where I'm like actually trying to really invest myself in this, or any other film by a big name director or A24. But back to the MCU.
Yeah. So speaking of the return of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield,
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I don't want it. I don't want a live action. They do it in Spider-Verse films, but happily give me that. I'd
I'd be
love to
okay.
see that.
Yeah, wee small animation, couple of jokes here and
Cameo,
there. Mild
big role, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care. Do it.
Yeah.
If it's a big role, I don't care if it's a cameo. I'd love to see it. I'd love Tom Holland in those films as well, in like more of a cameo sense.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we have Spider-Verse. We have Spider-Verse films. Why do we need another?
Yeah. I think they've seen... Well, this is the thing about
Oh,
Marvel.
Miles is also rumored to be in Spider-Man 3. Like, we don't need Miles yet. Miles is the future of the franchise.
Yeah.
But
Miles,
we don't need him yet.
after this one, I'd be okay with for when
I
Peter's
think
older.
I would still want...
films
I would maybe
from now.
want it... I want it after the college series.
Yeah.
Just rumors we're going to get 3 films in high school, 3 films in college, 3 films in adult life.
Yeah, I'd be
By the time
totally
Peter
okay with
gets
that.
into adult life, bring in Miles.
Yeah, because it's like
And then
we've sort
after
of
that
dealt with
trilogy,
that in a way.
Miles can lead the franchise. Mm-hmm. We've seen it. It's like Miles, He's going to be leading the games. He's going to be leading the animated films. He's pretty much the only thing people care about in terms of the comics now.
It's like, I'm totally okay with this. Having Miles in it. It's just the fact that I just want it timed well. It's like, yeah, because Miles is literally taking over the anime films. Miles is literally taking over the games. Good. This is great. Because not only does it work in terms of, right, we have a completely different character. MCU's kind of going for that route right now, anyways, with, Anthony Mackie taking over the role of Captain America. Which the TV show will deal with, where he's not really Captain America yet. He's just, he's still the Falcon. He's just going to earn that title, which is really interesting. But we're going to be getting that. We're going to be getting that with nearly every film now. You have Miss Marvel, which obviously isn't. Her idol is Captain Marvel. It's not actually. She's taken over from her.
Tony Stark will see something.
Yeah.
Or Iron Man.
Black Panther. There are the rumors are that Letitia Wright will be taking over the Black Panther title in a way. While
rumored for the X-Men will be recast.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, the Black Panther one wasn't intentional. It was just due. It
was going to happen eventually.
It eventually was. It was just more recently with
really
obviously
the sucks that Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, I mean. I remember me and Anne were talking about this, and when people were like, "Oh, who should they get to play Black Panther?" and I was just like, Chadwick, because I don't think anyone can. It's just not. Just don't get anyone else to play.
Well, I had
Chadwick.
an issue because there was a thing going around Instagram, people saying like, "You'll bring back Michael B. Jordan, you'll revive him using like the Soul Stone, and you'll make him a good guy."
I don't.
No questions asked. Is that the franchise?
Just leave.
It's like, it's pandering.
Well, the good thing is Michael B. Jordan won't even do that, which is good because he respects Chadwick in that kind of way, like.
That's such a replacement. It goes against Killmonger's character as well. That's literally just because people like Michael B. Jordan. There's no reason to do that. I love Michael B. Jordan, but that is not how it should be. I would love a film
where he's
a Black Panther film where there's no Black Panther in it.
What do you mean?
It'd be quite interesting to have a film where it's kind of like the world is looking to Shuri to fill up that role, and she does not want to do it.
It's sort of like Far From Home. If they do a Far From Home kind of aspect of it.
Where she just does not want the role. Like, she feels that that's not for her. Maybe she finds herself along. Something like that could be kind of... Don't just throw her into it.
Yeah, just make it interesting where she doesn't really want to.
Maybe make a couple of them Black Panther. Maybe...
Yeah.
We could have a thing where we could have, like...
Almost like Shazam.
Shuri could be Black Panther. We could have... I can't remember the bald girl's name.
What?
Yeah, the bald girl.
I was thinking more of... Lupita Nyong'o's character.
Yeah, he could do it as well. Like, there's so many people who...
No. That's a girl, Adam.
I don't know Black Panther. I saw it once, and I don't know the actress.
Right.
I'm sorry.
You know the actress from Us?
Yeah, which one? She was she the love interest?
She was the love interest, which I thought was very weird. She wasn't
names.
in
I don't know. I only know main stars. I'm sorry. I read Instagram. I just go on Instagram and I do. So I'm just sort of reading like this is what they should do. I'm sorry.
But
this is when we get cancelled. This is when we're gonna get views for them to cancel me. Misgender.
Oh dear. Anyways. Well, the weird thing was, like
I was thinking of the guy in the mountains. I don't know that actor's name either.
Who the character who played M'Baku?
M'Baku, that's the character's name.
Yeah.
You could do him. There's interesting ways to go about it.
There is interesting ways. Anyone. But I think what's really interesting is how the MCU have allowed themselves to fail almost in a way. Well, not fail, but they might see dire consequences for this massive delay. Not just Black Widow, anything. Because
Black Widow
January is the time when WandaVision's coming out. WandaVision's coming out January. Excuse me.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited for it.
WandaVision looks fucking interesting.
It's the only one I find that I'm really excited for because it's like they're really going for extended. Oh yeah, I'll watch it as well. But
really care for it.
I think they're just gonna try and go for like a Winter Soldier vibe, which I'm gonna be okay for. But
we know some people that will be a big fan.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna be sort of like mixed on that because I think Black Widow's already going for that.
Yeah.
Instead
But
of
WandaVision though, WandaVision and Loki are going to be interesting
well,
shows.
WandaVision, like just mainly as a whole, 'cause it's very experimental in what they're doing. Like,
People are going to hate it.
all people will hate it's going for what the Watchmen TV show did, and a lot of people didn't like it. But it is an amazing TV show, and I
Also, like,
think WandaVision I'm gonna hold really high up. I mean, yeah, we haven't seen much from it yet, but obviously what we have seen is very experimental and very different, and I'm surprised they did.
I
You
like the
know?
idea. It's going up to sitcoms of the 2000s where apparently it's going to be like them looking at the camera.
Yeah, that documentary style.
That's going to be fun. That's going to be funny.
Because it is going to
It's gonna
start
work.
off with that like 50s, sitcom and stuff, and it's going to evolve into that. And I think it is going to be really interesting in what
be
they
like,
can
yeah.
do. I know it's going to be a one-time thing and stuff, and that's why I think it's going to be really good and really special.
Because they're not setting up, like, they're only setting up Doctor Strange. It's
Yeah.
all about her becoming a villain as well, which
Yeah.
is so interesting.
Yeah,
I love those sort of stories.
it's like I think it's going to deal with a lot of like psychological and mental health issues in a way as well. Because
Oh,
I know,
100%.
I mean, I know Moon Knight's definitely going into that because the character of Moon Knight himself.
It's Oscar
I
Isaac
think
playing
he's
Moon Knight, isn't it?
yeah, perfect casting.
Perfect.
But yeah, no, because I think Moon Knight's schizophrenic or bipolar. I'm not sure exactly. I think it is schizophrenic. But he deals with like that almost duality in a way, and I think it's going to be good to see that dealt with in such a big franchise. You know, for like kids and stuff almost. You know, it's good for
Well,
them
let's
to
hope
sort
that
of.
Marvel don't fuck it up.
Well, I'm just that is the only other issue is that they just they could possibly fuck it up.
Another great aspect of Oscar Isaac playing Moon Knight frees up Keanu Reeves to play Ghost Rider.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
That's
I
who-
like
that's,
my
that's
my.
what Keanu Reeves needs to play.
I don't want Keanu Reeves to be a main Ghost Rider. I want him to be the mentor like character. I want him to be Johnny Blaze, but the mentor.
I think
To-
maybe like do a season arc, an episode of Johnny Blaze.
Oh yeah, no, I know what you mean like that. But what I'm saying is, I don't want him like full on. Like as good as it is, I'm just like I don't think he is getting
I don't think he'd have anything
old.
to offer.
Yeah,
Yeah, but let's think about Ghost Rider. He doesn't actually have to do anything.
yeah, I know, but CGI budget wise,
It's gonna be all CGI anyway.
yeah, but it's just
It's a
weird.
character is on fire. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
I
CGI
know,
regardless.
I know, but they're not going to do a lot of it. I think Disney are very good at balancing it in terms of right. They're not always going to be like normal character, but they're not always going to be CGI either. They find a nice balance in between, and yeah, I'd love him to just like be a mentor like character like it like in the first Ghost Rider film, where you have Carter
Alex
Slade.
is a big fan of the two Ghost Rider films. We need to address this.
No, I'm not a
To the
big
point
fan.
where he tried to pitch me the idea of bringing Nicolas Cage into the MCU as Ghost Rider.
It could work. You could do it well because
This was even connected to the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Ghost Rider.
yeah, it actually was. It was really well. They didn't really mention it, but it was just like right, that's Johnny Blaze, and that's exactly how Nicolas Cage looks like as Johnny Blaze. But I think
I'm so
I like
glad you
Ghost
said
Rider.
Johnny Blaze because I 100%.
You didn't
would've
remember
grabbed his
Johnny
name
Blaze?
and
Well,
said- I would have said Johnny Cage.
Johnny Cage. Well, the cool thing is about Johnny Blaze. I mean, well, in the first Ghost Rider, they actually invented a character called Carter Slade, who acted like a mentor-like character, but
He was the mentor. He appeared at the very end.
What?
Was he not the one who transformed into like the very end?
Yeah, no,
and
but in
was
the whole
like,
film,
I
isn't
need
it?
to go. Is he?
No, in the whole film he was no. In the whole film he's been helping them and stuff, but you don't know that he was the original Ghost Rider.
I think I saw. I don't even know. If
No,
I've
because
seen the first one. I know I've seen the 2nd
We'll
one.
watch both of them. We'll watch both. The
I don't
first
know if
one
I
and the
want to.
second one, which is a soft reboot, which came out a couple of years later.
It was like 6 years later.
Not
something
even.
crazy
It
like that.
wasn't so bad, but it was still.
No, it was like
pretty bad.
2006 to like 2012.
It was It wasn't a long time though. It was only like 4 years. It was a fair length of time for a sequel to come out.
Yeah, well, compared to 2007 to 2011. Okay, that's not too bad.
But like, yeah, 4 years, that's kind of fine. But Yeah, no, because it kind of works because they had like, what I'd like to see is Ghost Rider, but every like almost like True Detective, where like every season is different.
Each season's a new Ghost Rider.
Yeah, like I know like they had like Carter Slade, for example. He was like a Western Ghost Rider. He was the first Ghost Rider. He was in the Western, like, and they had a horse and stuff, and the horse was on fire and all. It was pretty cool. But you could do something like that. I mean, I don't expect them to do, oh, right, you do a Western, and then you do this and stuff. Adam's internet is lagging severely right now, apparently. Good to have you back, Adam.
Short intermission.
Well, no, it was good because I kind of had to. The good thing about the software we're using, I can pause the podcast, so it doesn't even feel like a lot of time passed.
I was never gone.
Yeah, it was never gone. None of this actually happened. But you know what I mean in terms of, right, each season you could have like a completely different Ghost Rider. It's a good idea. It's very interesting in a way.
We'll see. We'll see how it
Because
goes.
I think it's the one character that you could do it and it would be done well. Because he can be like completely different character each season. And like if you have a bad season, oh right, well next season it's going to be completely different anyways.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Can do something like that. What else is there?
What?
Some MCU thing I was going to say. I can't remember it.
Well, we talked about Spider-Man, we talked about Doctor Strange. What kind of vibe are you going for?
I don't know. We haven't even heard of our next Avengers level threat.
Well, I'm okay with there not being an Avengers film for a long time.
It's going to be Kang.
Well, we're not sure.
It's going to be Kang.
I don't know.
Kang confirmed for Ant-Man 3, isn't it?
Yeah, but my thing is, no one in the MCU, they could just completely butcher the character and be like, oh, sure, why would we have him as a main villain?
Like the Mandarin.
I think having Wanda would be very interesting. I mean, I don't think it'll happen, but...
They don't have the balls to do that for more than a film.
Nah.
She'll be back as a good guy probably at the end of that film. Because that's just the MCU.
Yeah. There's no lasting effects, really.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why I hate Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron is like one of my least favorite MCU films.
Oh, you haven't heard?
What?
Never mind.
What?
Nothing. Doesn't
Spit it
matter.
out.
Well, there's rumours about Ultron returning.
It's not going to happen.
No, in WandaVision.
Oh, that was
where Vision just constantly has like he can talk to Ultron.
That'd be interesting.
Which is kind of an interesting aspect, and I think it's a good way to bring him in a way because he is in the stone, so he has to deal with that almost.
Yeah, but does Vision even have the Mind Stone in this show?
I think it's a Vision from a different universe.
Well, we'll see.
We'll have to see. See, it's very confusing.
I don't want to know anything about this show, to be honest. I want to be completely blind going in.
It's very confusing. Yeah, but I'm very excited. At the same time. But MCU, I mean...
X-Men will be in it soon.
But I don't know how...
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four, yeah, but soon isn't how... I don't think Phase 4... I think Phase 5 we're going to see something.
Well, we're ages off of Blade. Like, they literally only announced that because your man wanted to be in it.
Mahershala Ali.
Yep.
Yeah. I was so excited. I was like, oh... Because I do love the way he talked about it. He just came out and was like, yeah, since I won my second Oscar that year, just walked in and was like, I want to be Blade. They were like, yeah, okay.
It was funny because there were rumors that Wesley Snipes was going to be returning to the role, but now it looks like he'll be playing Wessler?
Wexler or something like that.
Yeah, like that'd be very interesting to bring him
character
for that, and I think he'd do it.
Yeah.
Because I think it'd be even more interesting to change it and have sort of the black mentor for the black main character, because we haven't really had something like that, really.
Yeah, that's true.
That I can think of. Like, you know, like Miles' mentor is Peter. Mm-hmm. We've had even Cyborg's kind of mentor is kind of Batman. Mm-hmm. Like, so it'll be interesting to kind of have that dynamic where it's not like...
Right, some white dude talking
where it's not
to
some like white dude talking down to you saying what you need to do. Like, it'll be interesting.
You know, the white savior trope, as people
because we haven't even had any sort of African American characters like speaking to Nick Fury, really.
Yeah. Well, we haven't had a lot of African American characters. It really wasn't like we had Anthony Mackie playing
Don
Falcon.
Cheadle.
We had Don
As War
Cheadle
Machine.
as War Machine. They'd always been secondary characters until Black Panther came
Oh, unless
along.
you count Zoe Saldana as Gamora. But even then, it's only more if it's an African American actress.
Yeah, but she's not playing like an African American character. I mean, that's what we're kind of, reason wise, but like Black Panther was the first time, and that's why it was such a big deal.
Black Panther was
Yeah,
huge and
it was a
rightfully
sleeper
so.
hit because no one really expected it to be as massive as it was. I was so excited for it.
It was just what made Black Panther good was how well written it was. In terms of that, I
think it was the fact that they had such a good director who also wrote it.
you had such a,
You have Ryan
it was-
Coogler. Ryan Coogler is just fantastic.
It was I kind of say I think actually made the film good as opposed to anything. Like it was like properly, like I don't know. I've only seen the film once, but I think what made the film good was the dynamic was the great directing mixed with the dynamic between Chadwick and Michael B. Jordan.
And the
I think
only
that's
thing
what
that
carried the
let
film.
it down was the
Effects.
choreography.
I thought the
effects.
choreography.
No, there is
No, the
some-
choreography was alright in the when they're not in suits. The choreography's
yeah, fair
alright.
enough. Yeah.
Big fan of choreography in martial arts and
Yeah.
films.
It was just.
It's the effects fights.
It was mainly the effects. Was the biggest issue.
Yeah, I think there was some other stuff that was.
There was some minor story stuff, but I mean, my only problem with it story wise was the fact that it was just the exact same character.
Journey.
The exact same journey the character had from Civil War. That was my only kind of complaint. That's why I was very excited for Black Panther 2. So I was like, oh yes, we can explore this and he can have a different character arc.
It'd be so interesting. It would have been so interesting to see him sort of as the well-established king.
Yeah, and as basically the Black Panther as a whole, basically properly.
Yeah, and like properly have him as the Black Panther, which we
Yeah.
kind of saw a bit in Endgame and Infinity War.
Yeah.
I think at least
Oh,
he
especially
goes
Infinity
out-
War. Infinity
goes
War
out.
was when you
I think
really
Chadwick's
saw
final shot in the MCU is oddly very good.
Which one is it?
It's him on the balcony with his sister and Ma.
Oh yeah,
And I think it's very good send off because I
it
think
is.
I'm someone who's like Endgame. I don't really care what comes after Endgame to an extent. Like I'm kind of done with it.
Like if
I
it's
think
good, you're all okay for it. If it's bad,
It's
you're
one of
all
the
okay
reasons,
for
like,
it.
I was all for Falcon becoming Captain America.
Yeah.
I don't really care enough to watch it. I'm kind of because I'm kind of done with the Winter Soldier character. I'm more interested in the Falcon character than the
Well,
in him
what
being
I'm
Captain
really
America than
excited
anything
for
with
is-
Winter Soldier.
For that TV show, is the dynamic between the two. Because you just know they're gonna fall out so much. Whereas when you had Cap and Bucky, or even Cap and Falcon, they didn't really fall out. They always stuck by each other's side, but then you get them two characters, put them together, they're just gonna constantly fall out until they find like a reason between, like both of them reason between themselves. Like, I think that dynamic's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I think there's not very much to say about Thor 4. It'll be fine. It'll be a comedy.
Yeah. I'm just worried.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Taika is getting a bit too big for his boots.
Oh, I need to take him down a peg or two.
Especially with stuff like, oh, he's gonna be doing a Star Wars film. Oh, and he's gonna be doing this, and he's gonna be doing that. He's doing too much at once. I think we're gonna have a point where it's gonna be very satirized.
If his Star Wars film is very similar to his MCU film, we'll see.
See, I wouldn't mind if it's very Mandalorian-esque.
I wouldn't mind as long as it's its own thing.
But like MCU, what else? What else is happening?
Eternals.
Eternals.
to talk
That's gonna be a big something bad's
Gamble.
gonna happen. Right? Either it's gonna be amazing or it's gonna be the worst MCU film ever. It's either gonna be really. It's gonna be either the best or the worst. I don't see a middle ground for it. I'm very worried about it. I was very excited for it, and now I'm just very worried about it.
Shang-Chi, or is that his name?
Shang-Chi, that they've finished filming.
Didn't they have like no COVID outbreaks?
Yeah, they had a real tight
That makes
operation.
me excited because I think that means it'll be a smaller scale Marvel film.
Oh, what I love
I
is
wanted for so long.
I think it's gonna be like it's because entire Asian cast, think Asian direct. I think it is gonna have that like classic 70s.
Bruce Lee sort of
Bruce
martial arts
Lee kind of Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, proper
We just kind of want the
choreography.
ultimate Asian hero. It's just
Yeah.
like the badass. That Bruce Lee sort of.
Yeah.
Where it's just like Bruce Lee wins in the end. That's what happens in the Bruce Lee.
Oh, it's
Bruce
gonna
Lee
be
win.
very interesting in a way. Like I think it will be
For a
good.
lot of like good one-on-one fights.
But yeah, like
Because it's something we haven't really had in the MCU. We haven't really had good one-on-one fights.
no.
Just
I'm
two
trying to
people
think.
fighting.
Again,
Just Captain America versus GSP. I can't remember. The Leaper, I think he played.
yeah, you had well, you see, my problem is in Black Panther it could have been an amazing fight. It was just there was too much CGI. Had it been them with no suits, it would have been very interesting at the end. But the CGI can just let down. Let me think. 1v1s. But yeah, like
We haven't had too many good one-on-one fights, like properly.
No. I mean, I am trying to think about ones.
We had some good fights where it was like Winter Soldier and Cap versus Iron Man. One I think it's like the best fight in the entire MCU.
Ones of War.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
That final fight, fucking.
I
love it. It shows the characters perfectly. It shows like
Yeah.
Cap's boxing
Their
versus
own-
Iron Man's
yeah, their own
Wing
sort
Chun,
of
and like that's his
Style, yeah.
and it's like how they bring their own fighting styles into their weapons as well. Like Cap using the shield, Iron Man like
Well, I think
using
that's
his repulsors to get it throw it in.
you're gonna get real interesting. I think the closer you're gonna come to that is with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV show because I've seen some of the set fights and
The
stuff.
Leaper's back.
Yeah, like you are gonna
GSP
get
is returning
that.
as the Leaper.
You're gonna have US Agent who's gonna be very Captain America-esque, but he has a very aggressive fighting style,
Yeah.
which will be interesting. I think you're just gonna get a lot of that kind of action in it. But yeah, Shang-Chi I'm really excited for in that aspect. I completely forgot what was coming out.
It's what Iron Fist could have been.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's the only. I think a sequel to that and bring Iron Fist in would be very good. I think that's
Yeah.
when we could sort
Will
of
be
like,
a rebooted Iron Fist.
kick it. Yeah. Or I think it'll be the same actor, or it could potentially be the same actor. Just to
We'll
not
see.
confuse anyone and let Defenders be, Defenders.
The only one I could see really coming back is Charlie Cox.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
He really wants to come back.
Well, a weird thing about Season 4, when Season 4 got cancelled, Charlie Cox turned down a ton of work because he was like, oh, no, 'cause I'm going to be busy filming Daredevil. And
That's
then,
annoying.
cancel. Because the intention was 6 seasons originally. But the good thing is, they had planned out. Like at the start of Daredevil, they had planned out from Daredevil to Defenders. And then when Season 3 came out, they had planned Season 3 to Season 6. And that was going to be it. So I did like the fact that they did plan it in basically 2 trilogies in a way. Like in that kind of
It
form.
could happen. I mean, the fact
yeah.
that Deadpool's getting made fills me a bit more confidence about getting a bit more rated
I know,
R
apparently,
material.
that's going to be R-rated, yeah. Which is good hope for the Punisher as well. Because
I
Punisher
think there
had
was
had a
leak
big fan base.
lately, wasn't there, about Disney Plus R-rated. or
Oh,
something like that.
yeah, where they did have adult stuff. I saw the trailer. I'm not sure if it's real or not, though.
That's how. Because you have to remember, Disney owns a lot of stuff. Disney owns Family Guy.
Disney owns Alien and Predator.
Owns Alien and
Because
Predator.
Fox, like...
I only said Family Guy because it was the Simpsons equivalent
Yeah.
for it. Or rated R. Like, they own that.
Yeah.
Like, if they own Fox, they own a lot of stuff.
Well, that's what I'm trying to think. I'm just like, yeah. And I think what they'll do is all the stuff we have now will be translated to like what Netflix has, which is Disney Plus Kids.
Yeah.
And then we'll have Disney Plus as in like normal proper Netflix. Disney Plus will be,
Because they also own, like, Logan and the first 2 Deadpool films and
Because I know they do have like X-Men Dark Phoenix and stuff.
Yeah, they have all of them on it.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm surprised they didn't just throw them all on. I think next year's a good time to release it, 2021, because like by now you have a lot of people who have it downloaded. I think there was a prediction. It was like by 2024 it will have literally the exact same, if not more, subscribers than Netflix does.
Well, that's because Netflix keep upping their prices.
Yeah. And Disney Plus is a nice niche, £6 a month, for a year, €60.
It will go up eventually.
Oh, it will go up eventually, but I think for the people that they have, I think they'll do what Netflix does in terms of the people they have will pay the price they originally paid for it. Because that's what Netflix does.
No, Netflix has gone up for people.
Oh, has it gone up?
Yeah, it goes up.
Because originally they didn't do that. Because originally...
Oh, no, they've changed it.
They had done it where it was like, oh yeah, it's gone up to £7, but you guys who pay like 6 don't have to pay 7 and stuff. But I think Disney Plus, there's a lot of great bundles, especially in
In
America.
the States, they give it away with ESPN and Hulu.
Yeah, and that's a big I mean, it does cost a bit more, but it's a good pull-in a way. Especially because there's rumoured of a couple of like Marvel shows being developed on Hulu. At the minute. I think one was the Ghost Rider TV show, but then it eventually did get cancelled.
Oh yeah. Oh, is that the one that was supposed to spin off from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah. Same guy and all. Can't remember his name. He was in Terminator Dark Fate.
Wasn't Jai Courtney? Was it? It was a different guy.
No, Jai Courtney. No, definitely not Jai Courtney. No.
That's like maybe too big for Jai Courtney. Oh no, Dark Fate. Oh, that
Dark
guy.
Fate, not Genesis. Yeah,
was thinking
he played
Genesis.
Ghost Rider.
Was it the guy who played the Terminator?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Too many State of Terminator. Sometime.
No, because they're not gonna make another one.
They might.
No.
But
Dark
Arnie will
Fate
be back.
didn't do well.
Yeah, neither did Genesis.
Yeah, but Genesis was a big bomb. And then they brought Cameron back for Dark Fate, and when you bring Cameron back and it doesn't succeed, you know you're fucked.
That's because he didn't direct. He just... No, I'm not getting onto this. I think...
We're not doing Terminator. Anyways, we'll leave that till 80s night or something.
I'm going to bring this in just because I think why not, so we're going to bring this up. The fucking Square Enix game.
What, the Avengers game?
Yeah.
What about it? Well, just how it severely... Yeah.
Fucking waste of a game.
Yeah. I think there was a lot of great ideas in there. They just didn't do anything well with them. I think
I
there was a
only
lot
played
of
the beta.
restrictions.
Yeah.
I think they were going to be restricted a lot because I think the original trailer back in like
It looks dark.
2016 or whatever
It looks really dark.
was meant to be, I assume, like Endgame in terms of things. Like that kind of a level of stuff. And I think it evolved into something really bad because they're like, oh no, we don't want... I think they were going to try and go for like an Arkham kind of vibe. And
Probably.
they weren't really allowed to touch on that. It was like, well, our fans are kind of like, you know...
Insomniac kind of got away with it though.
And Insomniac, it's not too dark. It's not dark, really. Like, it's not an Arkham level darkness.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But Batman kind of has to be dark. Whereas Spider-Man can't really be... Well, it's like better if Spider-Man is, you know...
Not dark.
MCU, you know.
I'm
yeah.
not fucking Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield, yeah. Or, you know, Tobey Maguire, Logan style film.
I like the fact that people genuinely want that.
That would be awful.
Dreadful.
Well, he wouldn't want to do it because he prefers playing, like, being an actor. He prefers being Peter than Spider-Man. Which I wouldn't blame him for because, like, acting-wise, it'd be more interesting.
That was one of the rumors about his demand for Spider-Man 3 was the fact that he wanted scenes where he got to play Peter.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame him.
If it's true, which we don't
If
know.
it's true, definitely not, but if it's true. But what do you think of that Avengers game, anyways?
Every time it's on sale, I'm like, well, I buy it and just run through the campaign quickly. And then I remember, you can't just run through the campaign. You have to have those
No.
fucking multiplayer missions.
Yeah.
Because I would probably run through the campaign.
Well, my whole problem is it's too complicated, unnecessarily complicated.
I don't really do RPGs.
Yeah, I don't do. I'm not a big Destiny guy. In terms of like looting and stuff. Yeah, I do the odd one like Division, but like that's a Ubisoft game that's simplified.
Well, that you also just ran through the campaign of. You
Yeah.
do PvP.
Yeah.
Like I don't do multiplayer games really. It's why I'm kind of odd. I'm getting into co-op this year. Speaking
Yeah.
from last week,
Yeah.
I'm not playing the multiplayer. I'm actually quite liking it. But I just don't really do it. Can't be bothered looting. Can't be bothered playing the same thing over and over again, like
Yeah.
the same mission,
Yeah.
like to get stuff. It just doesn't interest me. And timed missions, like missions will be there for like a week and then you can never play them again.
Yeah, I hate
get
that. Because you'd love to be able to be like, oh right, I want to get 100%, get everything in this, and
I
you
don't
won't
like.
be able to.
I don't like syncing.
It feels like a
months at
chore,
time. Yeah, it feels like a chore.
and that's the problem. Yeah.
But
And
it's
they
just-
have delayed like all their DLC basically.
Yeah, we still don't have Spider-Man in the game. We still don't have Hawkeye. We don't.
Yeah,
have
well,
Kate
this is the
Bishop.
thing. I can see a lot of these being cancelled now.
Yeah, I can see Spider-Man getting cancelled.
My problem is Spider-Man's the one that shouldn't be cancelled. Spider-Man should be the biggest priority because it could turn around in time with the hype of Spider-Man 3, but
That's
it
like a
will
year away,
also
though.
give PC players and Xbox players a Spider-Man game.
Yeah, but so PS4 exclusive.
Oh
PS5
yeah.
exclusive.
Oh, forgot about that. Nah, fuck Spider-Man. Spider-Man probably will be cancelled. Yeah.
Yeah, like we're supposed to get Black Panther and probably Captain
Yeah.
Marvel. Not happening.
Oh no, Black Panther. Right, Hawkeye. 100% that is happening. That is coming out in like January or something.
No, I think it's like earlier than that.
It's mainly Kate Bishop you're playing as,
Oh, okay.
which is interesting.
Oh, Hawkeye series is filming
Yeah,
at the minute.
yeah. We don't know
Do we know
much
who's
about
playing
it though.
Do you know
No.
who's playing Kate Bishop?
We don't. That's the interesting side. We haven't seen it.
It's rumored to be Haley Steinfeld.
Apparently it's not now.
No.
Yeah, because originally it was really meant to be, and then that didn't happen.
Alison
But we
Brie
really
and
don't know much about it other than the fact that Hawkeye's
Going
film.
deaf.
Yeah, well, TV show, yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll probably
Final
get more.
appearance from the character.
I could see it. I could see him making the odd cameo in like future, like in an Avengers
Oh,
movie.
no.
No, an
Renner's pretty
Avengers. No, an
Renner's pretty
Avengers
old.
movie though. I could so see him making an appearance, just like a cameo.
Renner's like nearly 50, and he's working on his music career now.
True.
In his Imagine Dragons cover band or whatever. It is.
But like, the problem with Avengers is, I could see Black Panther happening. But I think it'll only get 2 DLCs. It really depends on the reception of this Hawkeye one.
Yeah, well, it's nice if enough people will play it. 95% drop in players.
Increasing by the day.
Like, it will soon be completely dead. It'll
Yeah.
be like Battleborn.
Well, there'll be no reason to play it.
No. Everyone's done
Because
with it.
we're getting a lot of good superhero games. Right, the new Spider-Man's come out. Spin-off game or whatever.
Apparently that's good.
I'm not
I'll
playing
play it when it goes on sale because I'm
Yeah.
not paying like 50 quid for an shorter game.
Yeah.
I paid 30, but I'm not paying its full price. Especially when Mafia was only like 30.
Yeah. But like, then you're having, right,
Gotham Knights. that
Gotham
next year.
Knights is coming out next year, yeah. And then year after again, Suicide Squad game. I think they're both going to be very different. I think Suicide Squad's going to be its closest to that Avengers. I think they're going to do that Avengers what that Avengers game should have been. I think that's what those two games are going to be. It's what
We'll
they
see.
should have been.
I'm
though.
very worried about that Suicide Squad game. And Gotham Knights, because apparently both studios kept getting projects cancelled.
Yeah. I don't know.
Which
I
is
mean, at
concerning.
least this is definitely going through. Because we've
Yeah.
actually got a trailer and it's been confirmed now. And gameplay.
Not for Suicide Squad.
Not for Suicide Squad, but we got some more recent screenshots from it. On the Twitter.
On the Twitter.
I know I
version.
sounded old when I said that, didn't I?
I know.
But I think that's pretty much the MCU, isn't it?
I think that's the MCU.
Or like Marvel's whole up to date.
That I can think of.
So next week we do have the Godfather trilogy. Hopefully, have you watched any of them yet?
I have not started it.
Right, he will have them done by next week.
I will have the first two watched. My plan is to not watch 3. and I will watch Coda.
Because we're going to talk about 3.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting if what
Okay.
Coda's like as the end of a trilogy for someone, and then to have it just as a comparison against 3.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, right.
I want to do less work.
You want to do less work? You want to watch 3 hours less of a film? Although you will enjoy the first 2, I will say.
Yeah.
I hope to. Right, that's us. We shall see you next week. Or for Pocket Shorts.
Yeah, I'll see Pocket Shorts.
We'll see for COD
What's
Season
coming
1.
up on Pocket Shorts? Oh, yeah, COD Season 1. We have emergency Pocket Shorts being released. Probably already out.
Probably right out because we recorded them. We recorded it back to back with us, so it's probably already out as we speak. But yeah,
and we had no COVID outbreaks during that back to back production.
Yeah, confirmed.
For end it there. That's how you ended it.